Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the final selection in our mini-series, SCOTUS in the Movies, the acclaimed documentary RBG from 2018, produced and directed by Betsy West and Julie Cohen, starring the notorious RBG herself and a large cast of characters, including family members, friends, colleagues, and admirers. The film documents the life and distinguished career of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, offering a loving portrait of the second woman to become an Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court. It shows how Justice Ginsburg developed her legal legacy while becoming an unlikely pop culture icon at the same time. The movie was shot in extensive locations in Washington, D.C., New York, and Boston, including in Ginsburg's home and her offices at the court. RBG permitted them to follow her around to her various meetings and speeches in Chicago and D.C., and sat for a face-to-face interview. The movie was chosen by the National Board of Review as the best documentary film of 2018, and it also earned Oscar nominations for Best Documentary and Best Original Song for its signature song, I'll Fight, music and lyrics written by Diane Warren, sung by Jennifer Hudson. The movie was well received by critics, grossing $14 million worldwide, making it one of the highest grossing independent films of 2018. A.O. Scott of the New York Times said of the movie that its, quote, touch is light and its spirit is buoyant, but there is no mistaking its seriousness with passion, close quote, and that the film is, quote, a tribute to her voice, close quotes. After Ginsburg's death in September 2020, plans were made to re-release the movie as a fitting tribute to her legacy. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was born into a first-generation American Jewish family in Brooklyn, New York. After graduating from James Madison High School, she went on to Cornell University, where she met her husband, Martin Ginsburg. She and Martin married 2 weeks after her college graduation and moved to Boston for their legal education at Harvard Law School. Their first child, James, was born while RBG was in her first year, so she was caring for an infant while a full-time student, quite a feat under any circumstances. Her husband was stricken with testicular cancer during his second year of law school, so RBG set to work, attending both his and her classes, typing all his briefs, caring for baby James, and maintaining their household. She petitioned Harvard Law School's dean to allow her to transfer to Columbia Law School in order to follow her husband to New York for his first job, but was denied that access, told she would not be given a Harvard degree if she left the college, although male students had already been allowed the same privilege. Nevertheless, Martin and Ruth succeeded in graduating on time with their respective classes, and Ruth managed to graduate first in her class from Columbia Law School, receiving a Columbia JD with honors. When she tried to find an entry-level associate position, every New York law firm she approached refused to hire her, despite her stellar academic record and recommendations, simply because she was a woman. When she applied for a legal clerkship with then Supreme Court Justice Felix Frankfurter, he turned her down, again, simply because of her gender. She was finally hired as a law professor by Rutgers University, succeeding a retiring African-American male professor because the university could not find another black male to replace him, and it was thought that a woman would be the next best thing. These experiences put Ruth on the path to excel at a newly emerging kind of law which dealt with women's rights and gender discrimination in society and the workplace. The movie RBG gives us a robust image of the challenges Ginsburg faced in her lifelong crusade for women's rights. Fun facts about the film. It took 2 years of background filming and interviews before Ginsburg was convinced to allow West and Cohen to shadow and interview her. When Clara Spira, Ginsburg's granddaughter, was interviewed, she addressed her grandmother as Bubby, which she explains is Yiddish for grandma. She later refers to her grandfather, Martin Ginsburg, as Tata without explanation. Tata in Yiddish means grandpa. On the day of RBG's death in September 2020, West and Cohen revealed how Ginsburg had said she wished to be remembered. She had said, quote, "Just as someone who did whatever she could with whatever limited talent she had, to move society along in the direction that I would like it to be for my children and grandchildren," close quotes. RBG is one of the rare documentaries to receive more than one Oscar nomination. Note the following crazy credit: Martin Ginsburg Award for Supportive Understanding to Paul Barrett, Orrin Jacoby, and Jorge Aguirre. Justice Ginsburg's reputation as a pop icon stems from the publication of Notorious RBG by Shane Krisnick and Irene Carmen. The nickname Notorious RBG refers to the rap artist Notorious B.I.G. When Ginsburg was asked what she thought of this, she said that, quote, "they were both born in Brooklyn," close quotes. RBG also had another nickname used by her family and friends, Kiki. Her older sister Marilyn called her Kiki because she was a Kiki baby, and the name stuck. RBG was born Joan Ruth Bader. When she enrolled in elementary school, her mother discovered that there were several Joans in her class. So she asked teachers to call her daughter Ruth to eliminate any confusion. Again, the name stuck. Ginsburg was a great opera lover, even appearing in a few non-speaking cameo roles in professional productions, notably in The Daughter of the Regiment. Love of opera was the foundation of her unlikely friendship with Justice Anton Scalia. They frequently attended performances together. There were only 9 women in RBG's Harvard Law School class. By the time her granddaughter Clara Spira went to HLS, women and men were represented 50-50 in her class. Martin Ginsburg once famously said that the greatest thing he did in life, quote, was to let Ruth be Ruth, close quotes. While at Cornell University, RBG studied under Vladimir Nabokov, best known for his novel Lolita. She later said that she was very much influenced by his writing. Things to look for: Ginsburg's distinctive Super Diva sweatshirt. Note her stunning collection of jabots. This collection developed because judicial robes were made for men, with V-neck lines to display their collars and ties. They didn't work so well for the female justices, who looked to historical record for more feminist styles that they were comfortable with. There they found illustrations of judicial robes worn with decorative collars or jabots, which could allow modern female judges to make a fashion statement if they wished. These were still being worn mainly in courtrooms in the UK, Australia, and other Commonwealth nations. Thus, we have RBG's amazing collection, mostly acquired as gifts from her law clerks, students, and assorted ardent admirers. The most famous of these is the one she proudly wore when she issued a dissent, decorated with black and gold jewels and beads, made for her by Banana Republic. She said that it was, quote, appropriate for a dissent, close quotes. Listen for RBG's incongruous nickname, Kiki, among the film clips in the movie. Hear Diane Warren's signature song, I'll Fight, sung under the titles by Jennifer Hudson. Listen for granddaughter Clara's use of the Yiddish terms Bubby and Tata. Look for cameo roles and interviews with the likes of Bill Clinton. Now it's time to see RBG. Settle in. Please remember that it may take a few minutes before the film rolls. Enjoy.